gone through interview processes before. Why is tech sales so different? And what were some of the things that you would tell somebody looking to break into this space about the interview process?
Oh, I would definitely say to understand the questions that they're going to ask you beforehand. Just preparation. Not only understanding the questions, but also going through role playing situations. Because the more you do it, the more it becomes fluid and natural and come across organic. You don't want to come through robotic because they're going to be like, oh, he's robotic, so if he's on the phones, he's going to be robotic as well. So it's all about just being organic, making sure everything flow properly, and just preparing for the situation. So that's definitely what I would say. Practice. If you feel as though you practice enough, keep practicing and practice some more. That's definitely, preparation is key.
I would agree. I would 100% agree. But talk about also, Akira, the point of that is what selling yourself, the whole preparation piece of it, right? It's like, you think about it. It's, a lot of people are asked these questions into an interview. Tell me about yourself, right? And a lot of people just go down their rabbit hole. They start talking about third grade and what they ate last night and stuff like that, right? Like, talk about like how you had to learn how to answer a question like that, right? Because of working with me and so forth. Like, how do you had to adjust to the things that you had to communicate and appropriately speak about?
So the thing is, and the way I phrase it to other people that ask me, is most importantly, every word that comes out of your mouth during the interview is going to either increase or decrease your chances of being hired. So that's just what it is, point blank, period. So if you're speaking to your value, and not only your value, but how your value could translate to the role in the company, that's what you have to do. Because like you were saying, if you start rambling off about, hey, I ate grapes last night, they're gonna look at you. they're gonna look at you like, what are you talking about? Like, and they're gonna say, if we hire him or her, they're gonna be on the phone rambling off about some random stuff that has nothing to do with converting the sale. So just being able to speak to your value and how it can translate into bringing that value to not only the role but the company. That's what you have to do, and that's just what it is. So every word that comes out of your mouth, just make sure you're not wasting your time or anybody else.
That's you couldn't have said it any better. And the reason why I'm cracking up was because I was eating grapes last night.
Hey, if you don't know, you don't know. Because when people ask that question, they be like, tell me about yourself. Well, I was born here and I did this, and it's like, okay, we're looking for how can you connect your background to this position in this company.
You nailed it, Akira. You absolutely nailed it. So, now you made the transition into tech sales, right? We'll talk about this. So you had, you said you fill out a whole bunch of applications. You end up going to a company, and you don't have to say the company name, but you end up going to a company that you had somewhat of a background in, right? You come from automotive, and now you're in the automotive tech space. How do you think that happened? Did you research the types of companies you were applying for and stuff like that? Talk about that.
Definitely research. And I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find out the company I work for on LinkedIn. So the company is called Shop Monkey, and they sell a excellent software to shop owners that basically allows them to elevate their business, make everything streamlines everything, and make sure everything is a lot more efficient. So I just researched the company, found out that they are one of the best out, and it just fell in line perfectly. So I was like, hey, it makes sense. It makes sense. So I was like, hey, it worked out. Everything lined up, and I just so happened to run across it, and it's a done deal, and I'm here now.
That's wonderful. No, that's wonderful. So now you're there now. And, you talk about your experience, right? Now you're in tech sales. You're in a completely different world. You are in a startup for the most part, right? This is a early stage startup. Now you know what tech is like, right? Talk about what it's like now that you're in tech. Talk about that.
So, one thing I will say to everybody that wants to make that transition, make sure that you're a fan of the software. Because when you're selling the software, it will come across a lot more organic because you actually believe in it. That's number one. I definitely would say that it's a great company, a lot of great opportunities. Like with it being a startup, everything is fast paced, everything changes, on a drop of a dime. So just being able to make a shift if need be is very important. One interesting thing about the whole process of me being on the team, I realized that I'm the only black guy on within the whole company, I believe. So being able to being able to be a how can I say a groundbreaker. I'm sure it might have been others before me, but I'm making sure that I'm taking advantage of that situation and really show what I can do. And like you said, just showing that I do belong. So
that's
important.
important.
And then also too, very important, very important. And then also too, even though I just finished onboarding, they actually assigned me to go to the SEMA conference in Vegas. So this is my first work trip that is fully paid for. So just making that transition, man. I was just in a company that I was working a lot of hours, was not off on weekends, and didn't have any business trips. But now I have a business trip and it's in Vegas as well. So I mean, it's a great thing, man.
Well, and that doesn't suck at all. And we'll talk about this. Like obviously you had to physically be there at the car lot, at the dealership. Talk about what tech sales allows for you to do from the standpoint of, you talked about it, not working on weekends, right? Getting opportunities to travel on the company dime, make more money and so forth. Talk about like that, just the culture and like how much of a relief it is for you to be in the tech world now.
Yeah, my job is remote. I cannot, with me being an introvert, man, having a remote position is perfect for me, because I'm self-driven, so I don't need anybody looking over my shoulder. Hey, you doing your work? You doing your work? You sure? And my manager, he's very, very hands off when it comes to things like that. So I really appreciate that. But making that transition really changed my life. Being able to work from home has done a lot for me as an individual and just providing a peace of mind. So I believe in remote work, and I'm very glad that I made that transition to remote work. Again, great hours. You don't have to worry about being micromanaged, especially if you work for a great company, have great managers. Being off on the weekends, and having a regular 9 to 5 schedule, man. Before I was working like 10, 11 to like 7, 8, 9, wow. In busy seasons past like 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm just very thankful that I was able to make that transition, and glad to be here. And I'm glad to see what opportunities come from this. And I'm just glad to be here, for real. Now the real work begins.
The real work does begin. The real work does begin, Akira. And something that you said that we laughed about, but I want to circle back to Akira say he's the only black male there, right? And, I laugh because many people, when they get into tech, that's one thing that they notice, right? That's one thing that they notice, especially for the young startups and stuff like that. They notice that they're, the only black guy there. There may be some black women and stuff like that. But what you also find out is, as a African-American or a Latino American, there's not very many people in sales, right?
No.
You got to remember that's the tip of the sword for the companies, right? So you are the best candidate for that position. They are going to pick the best candidate for that position. So you do belong. That's what I tell people all the time. Yes, you may feel like you may be the only black person there, but here's your opportunity to set the stage for others to come. And that's what Mr. Akira is doing. He's going out there, he's playing quarterback. He's getting ready to score a whole bunch of damn touchdowns. They're going to be like, hell yeah, we're going to be looking at other talent that looks just like him, right? Or whatever it is, right? That has the same, come from the same pedigree or whatever it is that looks and that they can identify with, that's going to enhance the overall company, and not only that, enhance Akire's ability to move up and make more money. Talk about this too. One, I love to talk about money, right? How is the money different from car sales to tech sales, man?
Very different, very different. The main thing is pairing the product with the customer. One thing about B2B sales is it's a lot more lucrative than B2C sales. You know, because I mean, and especially software. One thing I tell people, when you look at software sales, you have a product that you don't have to buy physical materials to build. So you're saving a lot of money. So that means that the company has a lot more money, and you know, so when you make these sales, so that you have minimal investment in the product, but you have maximum profit, as opposed to other products like a vehicle. It takes a lot to buy a vehicle, and then you have to flip it and sell it. So yeah, the money aspect is completely different. It's a lot of factors that I don't have to take in consideration that I did when it comes to car sales. Like, does this person even qualify? Do they have the money? You know, when you sell into businesses, even in the economy that we have currently, you know, a lot of businesses do have the money, as opposed to a customer when they, you know, their pockets may be hurting. So a lot of people are thriving in the software industry and tech period, as opposed to people in regular retail that's selling from B to C.
I love that you hit that. I love that you hit that. You're absolutely right. B2B, it is, you know, as companies continue to make money, they're still going to have to make some sort of investments. They may slow down those investments, especially in the, you know, as things start to tighten, right? Maybe they say, okay, well, you know what, we need to push our IT budget out, or I may not need to do this right now. But ultimately, they're still going to eventually purchase, because they're going to be behind, right? And that's the last thing companies want to do, is be behind and be inefficient, right? So that's why I say this all the time. Even in a ugly economy, sales folks, especially high performing sales folks, will still be getting paid. They will still be getting paid.
Agreed.
You know, Akira, you hit on just about, you know, everything from the transition, right? You know, talk about what's next for you, right? So you're in this position now, you're getting ready to make a whole bunch of money. Talk about like the opportunity that you see for growth at the company that you're currently in. What do you see as next, Akira?
So next, I just want to continue to move up the ranks.
And Akira, flip it the other way. You went the other way. There you go. There you go.
That's good.
That's better. There you go.
Right. But just basically moving up the ranks, you know, just showing what I can do. You know, because like I said, the real work happens now. You know, everything, you know, getting up into this space, you know, was cool. And you know, I'm glad to be here. But now I know it's really time to lock in, because my name is associated with certain statistics, and I have to make sure I have to make sure that I'm dialed in, and I have, you know, the best statistics and the best you know, performance. Period. So I just want to make sure I come in, be dedicated, continue to build on my craft, make sure I sell as much as possible. Once I found out about something called President's Club, I was like, hey, that's something I need to be a part of. In the period, and then it's no reason why I shouldn't be able to either. You know, because I understand that everything is about what you put into it, the amount of dials you do, making sure that you're a product expert, making sure that you are extremely well versed on the software. So regardless of what questions or objections come up, you know how to overcome them. Always asking for coaching and management, coaching opportunities. So just making sure that I continue to develop my skill, so I can continue to rise up the ranks. So from here, going to account executive position, and just continue to move forward. So just, you know, getting higher positions and getting more pay as well. That's definitely what is on my radar.
And I can tell you this, Akira, you're going to get there. We're going to be talking in less than a year, or let's just say it's a year, right? And you're going to be like, Antoine, holy shit, man. Like, you know, I just, what happens is